Ladies and gentlemen, all rise for the RankKing's court.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Tuesday. Welcome to 6:30 on Twitch. Thoughts on the Bench presents the RankKing's court as the eyes draw near as I hiccuped in the middle of our damn
Thoughts from the Wrench, our new home improvement.
the wrench. Hey, toss me that wrench.
Not
What
a
do we
bad
got?
idea.
The wrench. We don't got no stockings. We got the wrench. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Pretty
I'm
good,
alive.
Austin. We're here.
Alive, kicking, drinking beer. That's what it's all about, guys.
I don't trust this.
Wait, what was
We
that?
can't all have our hats on forwards. I don't trust
Oh
it.
man,
Should I
that's
put
the whole
mine
reason I
backwards,
put it
too?
for.
No, yeah, but no, don't follow me.
That's why I switched it around.
Yeah, I know. Keep it forward. Don't follow me. I'm a renegade.
Oh man. So yes, man. It's Tuesday, and it's a great feeling. Like we got a great show for you guys tonight, and before we get into it, though,
Yeah.
time for that ad read.
I love it.
Ed Reed is a top 5 safety.
Ed Reed,
So.
Ed Reed was good. Yeah. But tonight, the RankKing's court is live today from the Union Fitness Studios, located on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Union Fitness is more than a traditional gym. It is a place where you can transform yourself inside and out, with a variety of classes based around fitness, yoga, strength, and performance training. At Union Fitness, they believe that it is their duty to hold themselves and their clients to a higher standard. They practice.
You don't believe what you're saying. I need you to.
There's not more passion.
He's just
bro.
reading the words, Austin. It's a little frustrating.
They practice what they preach and uphold the values that make Union
look at
Fitness
me, look at the camera.
community that it
Tell them.
is.
Tell them.
Go to unionfitness.com today to sign up for a consultation. Through Union, there is strength. You didn't do it.
That's little whip.
Derek
Yeah,
messed
we got
it
a
up.
We got a great show for you guys tonight. Before we get into it, though, last week we touched on a subject that I thought was, a big one, but I guess it was only in my opinion, but that's fine. And that was the subject of Digimon. I put out a poll on Instagram for people to vote on for what they believed was the better show. Was it Digimon or was it Pokemon?
It was Pokemon.
It had to be Pokemon. It had to be.
So, what the end result was we had 18% for Digimon, and we had an overwhelming 82% for Pokemon.
It was Pokemon.
And
Austin, I'd
I'm
like to say I voted, and then when I scrolled through Instagram again, it popped up again, like my vote didn't count. So I don't know what
your
kind.
vote's in there.
Grind
Okay.
Project says Yu-Gi-Oh's better.
Oh, that's. I mean, that is.
I was literally playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Nexus waiting for the show to start, so.
I don't have the dual disc on me to put on, but that might be a show in the future. I don't know. We'll have to see where we're going. But yeah, I understand the masses going with the more popular project in Pokemon. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. That's all I can say. And I'm happy for the ones that came aboard, which one of our own on Thoughts from the Bench actually voted for Digimon, and that was one Benny Buckets. So I appreciate you, good sir.
Yeah, he must have felt bad.
I'm going to text him.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say yourself, and I was like,
Yeah, I was
kinda
gonna say
knew that was gonna
duh.
happen.
But yeah, seemingly the townsfolk have chosen to opt with the more popular project in Pokemon. So again, not mad, just disappointed. But for another take, we move into tonight's show. Very very excited because we are talking all the shows on Netflix. All of the ones, man.
What
This
to
is gonna
watch now that The Office is gone?
Yeah,
Yes,
basically.
exactly. Which I know if I'd pour one out for The Office, but I don't want to like have beer stained carpet. So
Oh, do it anyway.
So just to get back to it, Boyd says Digimon is for those kids that kept weird toys in their lunchbox in middle school. How much did Austin pay him? The better project? Question mark. Jesse writes in, how many shows are on Netflix? Austin.
a lot. That
That's
is
a
the
really
problem.
fucking good question by Jesse. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
It's a good answer.
Basically, there's a
Good
new
answer.
one that's picked
Denny
up.
writes in all of them.
They're not all on there, Danny.
We passed a Netflix show getting here.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
On
Shout out Christian Scott.
is it East Ohio?
Yeah.
Hashtag Netflix. Scientific answer. Yeah, Jesse, we do math
We're
and shit. bro.
big science guys here.
Huge.
Big science guys. Guess math and science fall in the same category.
Big fucking science guys.
So, so yes, we got a big debate coming on later, which is gonna, bring some creativity to the playing field. So I'm excited.
Shout out to Denny for the 500 bits. Bro, blah, blah, blah.
500. Thanks, Denny. As we move into our first radical ranking, which
That's a really
the
good point,
top
Roger.
are the top non-Netflix shows that appear on Netflix. So the title is a little miscued.
Hold on.
Yep, we have the graphics awesome.
Got a
I know.
little graphic. Austin, we do these graphics on the show that help us look like not idiots.
I forgot.
All right, now we're good.
All right,
We'll
as I
figure
wipe
that
the
out.
tears
It's
from my
only the
eyes from
second
being-
time.
As I wipe the tears from my eyes from being yelled. So the title is a little miscued. So let me explain a little bit. Not every show on Netflix is an original Netflix show. A lot of shows are taken from different networks and put on
Gasp.
basically to get binge watched the fuck out of. I mean, this
Oh, really?
this is what the shows are for, man. Like,
Really?
Hold on. Ah! Okay, your echo went away, Austin.
okay, I have an echo. That's interesting.
It's called troubleshooting. Look it up.
So let's get into this. Controversial is this list. Let's get on with it, man. Number 5 comes to us from Fox, which
Gasp.
is
Fox
New
and the
Girl.
Hound. Oh.
Fox and the Hound.
I love New Girl.
Dude, I love it. I didn't watch it at first. My roommate actually was like, who isn't like a big like comedy person. He was like, you got to check out the show. It's really great. And I've never seen a quirkier like show in my entire life. Like I loved this show. Just, all the characters with everything. Like it's so funny. And there's always a moment where you feel like you relate to one of the characters. I personally feel like I'm a lot like Schmidt in this show, just because my incessant whining that I do all the time about
that actually
unnecessary
checks out.
things. What, you thought I was going to say something else to better myself instead?
No, you're good. Just to let you know, people are actually happy with this one. Jesse Reset writes, I still need to watch the show, which I would highly
Same.
recommend. Shrek Did It comes out with a very fair ranking. Grind Project says, great show. So I would argue to say this is the greatest rankings court of all time, just based off the top 5, number 5 pick of the
Number
first
5,
radical
that's it. You should
ranking.
probably just stop.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week on the rankings court.
Oh man.
Swing.
So you guys have obviously
Ping writes an incredible show. Austin, you're great at this.
We're killing it tonight, man.
We'll see how it goes.
What
going.
character do you guys relate to the most? I know I said I related to Schmidt. Like, is Derek a Nick? Like, is that the case?
Do you know
like,
the characters, Val?
Not at all. I haven't seen it yet.
Schmidt used to be fat, and now he's kind of very metrosexual, but like the sexy one. Nick is a slob, doesn't really
Okay.
care, but him and Jessie, I believe is her name, Zoe
That is
Deschanel's
her
character.
name, yeah.
They end up together, whatever. And
Yeah.
Winston is super funny. Like Winston is very clueless and at times and very funny. I would assume I'm a Nick because I'm a schlob that's just kind of walking around life.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Austin. You probably watch the show more than us. Give us characters, because I would say Nick, maybe Winston. If I make people giggle, but
I feel
you
like
know
I'm
the characters,
I'm a
Austin.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So
Please.
Nick Miller, yeah.
So actually, there was
Ah.
also a character in here that's not on the screen right now.
Coach?
That's Coach.
Yeah,
And,
Coach is dope. He's a
I was
Wayne's
gonna
brother.
say maybe Derek relates more to Coach.
I would
in
love
a
to be
sense.
Coach.
I feel like if I've never seen Vo drunk, but if I feel like Vo would be drunk, he would relate to Nick a lot. Like, and that's not going for the slob factor. It's a lot more of the.
That's a shot.
It's a lot
Good
more of
clarification.
it's a lot more of the lines that he says, like the one where he never washes his towel. The towel washes him, so why would he need to wash a towel? Like,
Okay.
it's
Fair, checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. My family started watching this, so I'll have to start it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good. It's not like a show that you're going to be majorly invested in, but it's a
Uh-huh.
fun show to put on.
Yeah.
I'll give it a
One
shot.
show that I will say I was majorly invested in comes to us at number 4.
Yeah, this is your show.
Yeah, this is mine. Number 4 from Showtime. This is Dexter.
I'm surprised it's 4, man.
Yeah, it's 4. I feel like if I
Yeah.
put it any higher, it might be a cynical bias, but just
Yeah,
based.
It'll definitely be biased,
But
but
they're your rankings.
they are
so
your
They are,
rankings.
they
Yeah.
are a little biased.
No, they're truth.
Yeah, I mean,
Truth
they are,
hurts.
which it
I've
does.
never seen something posted on the internet that wasn't true.
Never.
I don't know.
Never. Yeah, this is the show, man, for me. I
Ooh.
have I loved it so much. I got all 8 seasons on a DVD box set. Like, I frequently watch this all the time.
For you,
Yeah.
Austin, Ping writes in 4's good. It could be top 3 if it wasn't for the ending. I
Yep.
do not know the ending, obviously.
I don't.
Do
but
you agree that it could be higher with a better ending?
Yes. The ending made fans so excuse me as I burp, so upset that they were almost turned off. It was just almost sour ending to the whole
Mhm.
thing, which thank God it's not, because one more season's coming our way, I guess, in
Wow.
2021.
Holy
They-
crap.
They felt bad for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Is
was
Dee Dee going to be in this one?
is what?
Dee Dee?
Dee Dee.
Dexter's sister.
Oh, Deborah. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
No,
Dee Dee.
Dee Dee.
Oh,
Then
I hate
they're-
you so much. We're moving on. God damn it!
I didn't
felt-
get that
I
one.
knew it too. She had the same fucking first name.
Jesse Reset writes in, good call, great show, list is solid, don't let me down. Grind Project says agreed. So Austin, I mean, this is your chance to stop completely undefeated. I just want to give you this one. This is
Yeah.
like, it's the lemon law. You have the lemon law.
Oh, well, in order to make, the lemon law, we need to turn lemons into lemonade, and that's what I believe the next show was able to do. It's a favorite by many,
I hate this guy.
and it's a favorite by
Where'd you
many.
find this guy?
Some people call it overrated. I say to them, they're stupid. Number 3 from NBC, Friends. I mean, this was amazing. Like, the show in general. I remember
Okay.
when I was younger, when it was on NBC, the theme song would play, and I would just dance around it.
Yeah, the theme song is
Yeah,
good.
The theme song was
It's
good.
gonna
One of
be
my
this
favorites.
way.
The comments are
Comments.
going crazy right now.
They don't like this one.
Jesse says, I mean, there are so many great shows on Netflix, you can't go wrong. Steph says, I missed the first 50 minutes, so I don't know if Austin has relevant opinions or not. Shrek did it, says, now as the current shows, that include former shows, so I think it's all shows at the time
Yeah.
also did the ranking. Oh, fuck, Friends, basic shit, Steph says, so all right, and Ty hates you for that too. The worst, do you have a pivot shirt?
Oh man.
Pivot!
This literally almost made me want to make the Thanksgiving
Friends.
leftover sandwiches. This is what that show is so good. Like, I just want a sandwich with gravy soaked bread.
Did
I
you
mean,
hear what Vo said?
No, what do you say?
He said that this show made you want to make friends.
Oh. Wait, you think
That
I
was
just
good.
look at the title and be like, huh, that would seem nice?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
well.
like, I need some friends right now. Boom.
Ross is the worst, and it stopped being funny after 2 seasons. All these people are wrong. Friends is great, Sarah says. So you got a fan. You're still holding on there, hanging
Still
by a
hanging on.
moment. Hashtag Lifehouse.
We got the heartbeat monitor still going. And one thing, unfortunately for our number 2, again, I wanted to pour one out.
Yeah, this should be one.
Yeah, so we'll discuss. Number 2, NBC's The Office.
Man,
I know it's really tempting to put it at number 1
because
based
it's
on
the best.
that's leaving. I mean, there
Yeah.
it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with this show that made it go to number 2. I just personally believe that number 1 has a special place in my heart that I can't.
Oh, more than Dexter.
It's biased.
Yes, exactly.
Find better television. Steph, I'm sorry that your puny little brain can't comprehend the inner workings of Michael Scott. That's not a
Don't yell at her. Don't yell at her. We already talked about this. HR.
No. So, all right, Grind Project prepared to riot. The Office is the most binged show in the history of shows.
Oh,
It
for
is
sure.
by far the most quotable show. Like it's and the people that don't enjoy it, like the reason that I really enjoyed it is because working in an office is I had a manager that was very similar to Michael Scott and very cringy and like wanted to be friends, and it was very like, dude, like stop, and it stunk. But no, it took me a long time to get into that show. But it's the best show that Netflix has ever had.
Yeah, it's a very waiting process, right? Like it's not one that you're gonna like immediately go into and be like, yeah, this is good.
Ty
Like,
says he hasn't watched The Office in 12 days, Austin.
oh, God.
New record.
It's the 12th, yeah. That is the
12
longest
is
I've
like-
gone.
I'm right
Like
there with
days
you
ago.
though. Like at first I wasn't a huge fan of it, but once I worked in an office, kind of saw the characters I worked with, so
You
It took
started
me to the
started
basketball
to-
episode, Austin.
Yeah.
The basketball episode with Stanley. Secret weapon. That's the one that got me.
Yeah, again, there's nothing wrong with this show in general to make it number 2. Like, there's no fault against it.
That's what
It's
she said.
personally-
she said.
That's what she said. So
That's what she
personally, I just believe that number 1, which I believe is probably one of the greatest television shows, not just in Netflix, of all time. Like, I personally
Agreed.
think it's great. And number 1 is Breaking Bad from AMC.
From a Netflix perspective, though, like I understand it's the non-Netflix shows.
Yeah.
So I don't hate it.
Yeah.
From a it's on Netflix perspective, though, nothing will ever touch The Office. But Breaking Bad is I will say for me, it's a top 3 show of all time. Like in terms of the show. So I don't hate it.
And it's still on Netflix.
It is.
So
So, just stick the knife in deeper. Like,
Yeah.
that's why it's his
Yeah.
number 1.
Yeah, really.
no, there was nothing wrong about this show at all. This show had literally everything, and it was great. It had drama, it had elements of comedy, and it had just all out, just dark shit going on, man. Like from the whole wanting to, make money just to, pay off cancer treatments and to make sure that you're fine, to being a global fucking juggernaut of a drug kingpin and not wanting to let that go. Like this, it even like it spewed I don't want to say spewed, but it literally created a spin-off of Better Call Saul. And which I
Better Call
haven't-
Saul is tremendous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then you had obviously the El Camino movie that dropped on Netflix, which I thought was decent for what it was. Like I
it
knew that
wasn't bad.
yeah, I knew we weren't going to get a lot of Walter White, and it was going to be all about Jesse Pinkman's basically experience nearing the end of the whole thing. Which, I mean, this show had a lot of just great quotes. I can't see I know that every time, like, when a pizza gets delivered, I just want to throw it on a fucking roof just because of this show, to emulate it.
Jesse Reese writes in BCS, Better Call Saul is the best spinoff ever. And honestly, Better Call Saul is one of the shows that I don't consider it better than Breaking Bad, but it is like there's some sequels or spinoffs where they're better or way worse. Like it is perfectly in line because it is Breaking Bad in a different realm. I adore Better Call Saul, and I think that they absolutely murdered it.
Yeah, it's like if we want to take that into consideration, it's basically like the whole Batman thing with what happened with the Joker spinoff. Like it was so good that it sticks around with the nostalgia of that realm just because it's so fucking great, right? Like that's what I would compare it to.
And that's
And,
Discord, by the way.
Did you know Jesse wasn't supposed to be past season 1?
Yeah, I found that out in the trivia.
trivia,
Yeah,
yeah.
so Jesse was supposed to be dead after season 1, and you see that every once in a while with shows. But, man, because El Camino was beautiful, so thank God they kept him around. But, yeah, no, I'm biased in the sense of The Office, but I don't think anybody's really come out with a show that wasn't on your 5, Austin, and this is probably your most agreed upon ranking of
Yeah.
I
all
would
time.
say so. This had a clapping of the hands notion. Like this was a good one. We'll see if we can keep that
I
going.
will say I
We'll
don't know
see
if
on
it's
the next one.
yeah. I will say we'll see if we can keep this going on to the next one because
So the second radical ranking is up next. We are back. The second radical ranking. The top Netflix shows that I haven't seen, but I need to. So these are mostly like all that are made a little bit more recent or ones that have just passed me by. And this was kind of like, I knew kind of number one was going to go a good way. So I'm interested to see how the
I
townsfolk
haven't seen
react
these
to
yet,
some of
so
the
I'm
ones
curious.
that I haven't seen. So it will be interesting. Number 5, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I watched Sabrina a little bit when I was a kid and everything. And when I heard this was coming back, I said, okay, like this is more geared to like the little bit of horror, suspense kind of thing that I would want to see.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it just I never got the time to sit down and be like, this is what I'm going to do. And it just kind of passed me by. This was from what I've seen, this is a great show. And have you guys like peeked into it? Like I've never seen it. So
I haven't seen it yet, but like you said, like I grew up watching Sabrina, so I thought I was gonna watch it, but same thing. I just never had the time to sit down.
People call it the Riverdale of Sabrina. Like it's taking something that was a little less and making it a little bit more, and it sounds cool. It's never something that I'm gonna get into. I just kind of know that about myself. But Greg's girlfriend 58 does write in, yes, watch it. It's creepy. So all right, maybe I will then.
all right.
I mean, if
you like creepy.
yeah, I do like.
I
Creepy
do
a lot.
enjoy creepy. So one that I don't believe was creepy, but was very well received based upon what it was, comes to us at our number 4 spot. That is The Witcher.
Toss a coin.
Toss a coin, motherfucker. Yeah, I
Okay.
So, I don't know.
This man.
I've same thing. I've heard it's so great from like so many people, and they're like, you have to fucking watch it. You have to fucking watch it. And I don't know, maybe when someone
Ty. He said, watch it immediately after Dead by Daylight, Austin.
okay. I feel like when people are like, you have to watch this, and I'm guilty of the same thing. Like I feel like it's almost a turnoff that I shouldn't watch it because I don't like being told what to do by people. I'm not gonna do it. Like so. But yes, I've heard great things about it, man. I need to get onto it and I need to get into it, but there are certain aspects that are stopping me from it, but who knows? Number 3, I will say, is our most recent, which I was told probably on Among Us, I want to say like 2 or 3 times last night, Derek, to watch from Steph. And that is Bridgerton.
Yeah, I saw the trailer playthrough. So just for the record, I have not seen. I've seen one of the shows that's going to be on this list. It was not this one. It wasn't The Witcher. But the trailer for this one looked interesting enough. Like a British family, she wants love, he wants power. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, I mean it's the basic concept, right? Of like, are you really like going into a relationship with somebody based on like your love and affection for them? Or are you power?
Oh, it's got titties.
Oh, it got titties.
Shout
How
out.
do you know
All
it's got
Steph
titties?
said in the comment section it got titties. I'm gonna Google Bridgerton titties.
Well, you know what you're watching later.
Bridgerton titties.
I don't know if titties alone is enough
Can't
to
go
launch
wrong
the
with
show,
titties,
but
Jess. Right.
Oh. I'm not looking at boobs. I'm just looking at the title.
Definitely
Yeah.
boobs.
it's
Yeah.
just like, oh.
Can't go wrong
But
with
yeah,
titties
the
at all.
concept is interesting. It's literally just came out, so if you haven't watched it yet, there's no like harm against you, like or anything. I just need to get in on it with the rest of the people and see what it is. So I will say with that. Number 2 is our second to most recent.
Sold on the titties.
Which is more based on a miniseries, but I still consider like a TV show. You know it well from Thoughts from the Movies. I believe they covered it. And that is The Queen's Gambit. I've heard nothing but great things about this.
Try not to transition the screen until he announces the show.
Oh, that was my bad.
He's been cucking you all fucking rank, Austin.
No, that was the first time.
Nah, the
That's the first
Bridgerton
time.
one was up there before you were talking about Dexter.
You sucking cuck. Cuck off.
No, Queen's Gambit. I watched 4 episodes of it, and I just haven't gone back into it. But it's an amazing show, great concept. How do you make chess entertaining? But it made chess like the #1 show in the world right now. She has the largest eyeballs known to man, and they are honestly, Saramo, they're sexy. They're giant chameleon-looking
sexy
eyeballs. They're
eyeballs.
You
sexy.
like the giant eyeballs?
I would love to get whooped in chess by her.
I will say
I didn't see this one, so.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
will say that I have not watched it obviously, and the only time I really see chess is I think when I saw it was before Disney movies, they have like that little like 10-minute little thing that they play at the beginning, like a little short story.
Huh.
And they had one where it was like an old man just in the park by himself playing chess.
Mhm.
And he would act, which I don't know if is like dark with like like split personality disorder or just boredom, but he starts playing the game against himself and acting as different.
Tough to win that way.
Yeah, I mean, like it's crazy.
Tough to lose.
That's
You'd be surprised.
#1 is probably the biggest one that I would say, and #1 is Cobra Kai.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet.
Proud of you, though.
I haven't seen it yet, man.
I haven't either.
It looks good. I haven't watched it either.
Yeah, I heard good things about this one. Though.
From what I'm aware from some of my friends, they said that this last season was incredible.
Yeah, a lot of people
I
were
think
loving it.
There's like, 3 seasons in total on this. And I love the fact that they're bringing, because it was original. I want to say like it was like Netflix done, but YouTube, I guess, had this for a while. Like
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
trying to do it. And Netflix took it on and made it more, because I guess that's maybe the reason why I didn't pick it up at first, was because it was like, oh, it's a YouTube show, and Logan Paul's in YouTube shows, and I don't want to do that to myself. Like it just, I don't know, the whole concept of bringing, the Karate Kid cast back,
Yeah.
with Daniel LaRusso and everybody, like and it basically, tells the story of how a lot of people believe that Daniel was the real villain of the Karate Kid.
Yeah,
and
an illegal crane kick.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that bullshit.
if he didn't like do that, he wouldn't be, I guess, like the trailer opens up where he's like just drunk, like on the floor, like 20 years later or something. So, but yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about the show. I need to see it. Nothing more to say. Those were the top Netflix shows that I have not seen.
Sarah Mo says, all hail Sensei Lawrence, and Daniel LaRusso has been the bad guy since day one.
There you go. There's another one, man. I
Love that.
I love that. Yes. So yes, the Radical Rankings are over, and I could not be more excited, because now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the great debate.
Do you need anything?
Toss him a coin and a beer. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been something that I've wanted to do for so long. So long. Tonight's great debate, I challenged both Derek and Vo to create sort of our own Netflix pitch for our show. So Netflix, if you're watching this, we got some gold stored up in these noggins. I could not
Or
be
Elon Musk. We will also pitch these ideas to Elon Musk.
I was going to say Elon. If
Jeff Bezos, suck it. Nope. Elon Musk.
Anybody
can...
that wants them, really.
Nope. Jeff Bezos can suck it. Everyone
So,
else.
in order to do this, I came up with a criteria with about 6 different things. You had to have a title, obviously.
You didn't think of
I'm thinking of it. I got it. Hold on.
You had to
You
have
talk. Hold on.
a genre to your television show. A cast, you could put about, the minimum was about 3 people. Location,
Just reset. Hold on.
the plot, and lastly, why it's different from every other show. So, I am excited. I do say I don't want to go first. if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's
Derek can
super
go
weird because
first.
it's your fucking show. But here we go.
I
All right. I'm kidding. All right, we'll get to the name. We'll get to the name after.
He does have a name.
So I don't yet, but when I'll
Talk through.
I'll talk through. All right, so it's a comedy, obviously. That's my wheelhouse. Vo's already sucks. Grind Project says that might actually be true. So let me get you through the world. So like all of the shows that have been pitched recently, all the big shows that have come out are very much multiple locations, giant things, nothing that's too comfortable. Even in like Breaking Bad, there's not too much that's like a comfortable setting for a show. You know, there hasn't been a good show developed with a comfort location like The Office, like some shows that like you go into work or you go into your bar. Like Friends, like there's an old formula around getting a location and people comfortable in that location. So this is about a bar in New York City that is obviously very shitty, very trash. And a couple of the episodes will do spin-offs where shows like Bar Rescue and Gordon Ramsay come in to save them, and it's just terrible. So it's a comedy, you know, about just the inner workings of a New York shit bar and trying to get through it, and it's definitely penciled back through. But what's really going to sell you are the actors that I have on already. I hit them up. So as the cook, back of the house, it is Ben Schwartz, comedian from Middleditch and Schwartz. He's done Parks and Rec. He's just one of the funniest people ever, and he's the worst, and it's just fucking great as the cook. The lead bartender, Mindy Kaling, who also is a writer and producer for the show, which is cool. Mindy is from The Office, The Mindy Project, and comedy, but she is one of the most brilliant minds in entertainment. So her is the bartender, where she's, you know, it's very much Kelly Kapoor, but obviously a little bit different. And then really the guy that we wanted, and we wrote this character for him, and for the fact that he signed on is crazy. But as the manager, we did get Zach Galifianakis. So it's going to be a lot of hijinks, if you can imagine them getting into that. And why it's different is because, you know, there hasn't been a good location-based show. I fell in love with a show called Brew Brothers, which is a comedy on Netflix, and it won for one season, and it was just like, I think the ending was trash. I think that there were certain plot lines that were terrible. The writing was terrible, but like I loved it because I was like, I would go to that brewery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I wanted to be, I would go to that bar. I would go to that thing. So people wrapped around an actual entity with these three comedic geniuses were very excited about the show, and the show is called
Sorry, I don't think we heard that. Hijinks. No.
I love it.
I think his mic's broke.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay. Well, now that I told you guys the name of the show, Vo's up.
Okay.
All right. You're not coming up with a name?
I told you the name is.
Said it already.
All right. So, the name of my show is called The Municipal. Since I work in the court system, it's going to be based on the court system.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's going to be an action comedy, so kind of like a Brooklyn 911 type of feel, but also shot in a documentary style like The Office.
Oh.
Okay.
So
mine is not documentary style, just for the record. I just wanted to clear that up.
Well, it's my turn.
Yeah, well, you asked me about my name, so.
Yeah, your name's Derek. The location is going to be in Gettysburg because it's a small town built on history. There's a lot of history surrounding Gettysburg, and my cast, the judge, his name is going to be James Judge, because it's a comedy, so people
James
are like,
Earl
hey,
Judge.
They're going to be like, could be James Earl Judge, but it's going to be played by Kiefer Sutherland because he's part of action movies.
Sarah Mo writes, and I believe the show is called Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's what I said. What did I say?
No. I think that's what you said. It's just you're describing a show is.
Basically not.
Unless you said Brooklyn 1010 or something, I missed it. But
I'm interested in why it's different. But yes,
yeah. I love Michael Keaton. Or not. What'd you say? Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
I don't know why I thought of Michael
also
Keaton.
Also going to have Kevin Hart as the sheriff in the court because he's going to try to fight everybody.
Big budget for this show.
Big budget.
Wow.
It's going to take off.
Love it.
And then one of the attorneys, the star attorney, is going to be Rashida Jones. Karen from The Office.
Oh shit!
We're bringing in.
I know
everybody
who
for
Rashida.
this.
You do not need to tell me Karen from The Office. Rashida Jones is a godsend.
But yeah, it's gonna be different because
Huh.
it's shot in what did I say? Documentary style.
Yeah, Gettysburg 8-8.
In Gettysburg. No, what shows in Gettysburg that you know of?
Scranton's near Gettysburg.
Yeah, but it's not in Gettysburg.
Yeah, you got me.
And then, say like, you have crazy people in court all the time. I see it on a daily basis. So if there's a documentary style, you're just talking to the camera. You're like, what just happened there?
Wow,
Like,
I'm going to name my show
basically.
Coasters
Coasters.
because they're coasting through their job and you have to coaster below drink. So
Yeah.
Oh shit! There you go. There you go.
Well-
That's what you mouthed originally, wasn't
Steph says Scranton. Yeah, what?
it?
Steph said Scranton is a solid 3 hours from Gettysburg. You know what is? You know what? We are 3 hours from when I stopped working today around that time.
Yeah.
Not that far away, Steph. That's how I'm going to word that.
There you go.
But it's Gettysburg.
Mm.
Has all the main stars you could ask for.
All of them, man.
It's
Yeah.
better than Coasters that you just came up with during my part of the segment. Go ahead, Austin.
Wow. So that really sucked. What's up, Austin?
Low blow. I will say, as soon as he said like court show and then action comedy, all I thought about was like someone reaching across like the thing. It's like order in the court and then just punches him in the face.
That stuff
Wow.
could happen.
And then
Ep-
Kevin
episode
Hart,
4.
like anybody yelling at like it's like nobody's listening. He's like, shut the hell up! Shut,
Exactly.
you don't know what you're doing.
He's trying to fight everybody in the courtroom. You have Kiefer Sutherland, who's a serious actor.
Yeah. Jesse says, I give
So-
you guys props because I couldn't pitch a show. Imagine the shows we're not pitching, Jesse.
No.
That's what I want to get at right now. Is imagine the shows that Vo and I thought of that didn't win this competition. So, scary place.
Yeah, those are our best options.
Go ahead, Austin. What is your show to beat Coasters and Gettysburg 8-8?
There we go.
So, this is one that I literally came up with this morning. I have been doing this for a while where I just like put ideas in my head and I want to write them down and everything to make
It
movies.
would be scary if someone else was putting ideas in your head, so I'm glad you are.
What?
Or if somebody else came up with it this morning.
Wow.
So, the
Did Bree come
title-
up with this?
No, she did not. Believe it. Although she apparently pitches ideas to me all the time, and I just leave them unheard. Apparently,
Love it.
So,
Let's get it.
the title of mine is known as the Boston Boar, and I'll explain. So,
I
the
would hope.
Boston Boar is a thriller horror show that I will be bringing to Netflix. My actors, I got some star power as well on here, and I got 5. I put like a limit of 3, but I wanted to have like just some in here. But
He told us 3, but he'll take 5.
I went Dwayne The Rock Johnson twice then.
I also had Kevin James thrown in there. He's another police officer.
So what I have in here, an interesting choice for my main character Nathan. I will be having Jason Bateman play Nathan.
Okay.
I feel like Jason Bateman could be good in a thriller horror scenario. I have 2 detectives on the show. One Detective Price.
Ty will get to that. Don't worry about that. Ty wrote a comment that I want to address after this, but you keep going, buddy.
Okay. So I have 2 detectives on the show. One Detective Price, who will be played by one John Hamm, and one Detective Murray, who will be played by Daniel Kaluuya, who, if you don't know, was like obviously the main star of Get Out and everything. It was it's incredible. And Claire, Nathan's wife, who I have played by Nicole Kidman, and who I have, and I know this is going to seem like such a side character thing, but I have Ricky the neighbor, who is played by Paul Dano. So I believe this is great. The plot centers around, which I have it on typed up here, and I'm just reading it off. A man, Jason Bateman, has it all, a wife, 2 kids, and a great job managing a marketing firm. However, he awakens one day to find out that they have been slaughtered and he is being framed for the murders.
Oh my gosh.
On the run now, he must find some way to clear his name, although things aren't what they appear to be in this horror thriller.
That's nothing a good marketing campaign couldn't fix,
This
though.
kind
in
of
his
sounds like
defense.
The Outsider. Just throwing that out there. I don't know if you
Oh.
watched that.
No.
And it did have Jason Bateman. He was set up for murder. But go
Oh.
ahead, continue.
Oh, I never watched The Outsider. So.
Convenient for your story.
I guess so. The location will obviously, based on the title, will be set in Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And why it's different, and this is a little just because you have to explain the whole story when you go in there, so this is a spoiler. But the cliche of this has been done before. But what separates this is the fact that Jason Bateman actually did kill his family and suffers from blackouts that cause him to develop a serial killer personality known as the Boston Boar.
Okay. I found this on the web for a serial
well, I didn't
killer
ask for Siri.
personality
I didn't
known as
ask for
Boston
Siri.
Boar.
So thank you. I did not ask for Siri on that.
You Googled your fucking show?
No, I literally
What is
just
this
said it.
shit?
Siri
Bo
popped
and I
up,
are out here
swear to God.
pouring our hearts to Netflix, and you're Google. Oh my lord.
I thought that
No,
was
man,
the
I
computer
literally
there.
just
I was
said
like,
it.
Yeah, I know. I thought you pressed the button. Siri's
No.
always listening. That's 100%
Oh.
right.
That's terrifying. I didn't.
Netflix is going to come out with this show now.
So,
Thanks, Siri.
but so I have
Yeah, they're gonna pitch it.
character of
Oh, for sure.
character Ricky the Neighbor on here because he essentially is helping Jason Bateman, but Ricky the Neighbor doesn't actually exist. He's all in Jason Bateman's head as like a personality thing, and he thinks he's hunting down the real Boston Boar that murdered his family,
Okay.
but it's not him. It's Jason Bateman. And he actually is, instead of marketing, he actually is like going to therapy to correct his bipolar disorder that's going on with him right now.
Mm-hmm.
I love this, man. This took a lot to
Who's the main guy?
Jason Bateman.
So like Ozark.
No, this is
Outsider.
Yeah.
Mixed with those are.
Yeah. So like Arrested Development, kind of, a little bit. I also thought you said Jason Statham the first time you announced it, and I was super excited.
Everyone was confused on the Jason.
Yeah, I know. Sarah Mo wrote in that it was Jason Sudeikis, who just lost Olivia Wilde to Harry Styles, R.I.P. Jason, so American Horror, but with Jason Bateman. It's not a bad thing. I'm just asking you. Are we not allowed to ask each other questions about our shows?
I'm just saying that.
American
I mean, the
Horror,
whole point of it
Boston
that's
Boar.
different is that it's based off of like a thriller of trying to find out who the actual person that killed his family was,
Ah,
only to find out in the end that it was
him.
actually him.
He killed his family.
Yes.
Yeah. A classic whodunit, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next show I'm going to pitch is a show Ty brought up that I was thinking about. It's a one-man show with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson where he does play every character, but instead of cutting, it's him like he has to put on the shirt, stand over here, say the line, take the shirt off, come over here, put this shirt on, it's
There's no editing or anything.
no, it's just a camera and it's a one-man show.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Nutty Professor is just the Rock style.
but without any editing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty raw. It'll be in .wav format, not MP4 as well, so you can only upload it to certain sites to make it a little more difficult for streaming thieves.
But
I like it.
yeah, you'll
Me too.
you'll have to let us know who
Very
won that
excited.
great debate. I personally put a lot of thought into mine, so I think might be mine.
All right, we all have a budget of $5. We have to make this show. Winner wins. Go.
You want to be on a show?
No, in Gettysburg, no.
Oh man, but yes, that was our great debate. We will be right back when I list my actual ranking.
The winner wins.
Hi, I'm Josh. I like pizza. Do you like pizza?
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie.
We've let it coagulate. Show Greg, king of coagulation there.
Coagulation is key.
Homemade Greek ranch.
Do you like watching people eat pizza? Help me, because I'm on the quest to find the best pizza in Pittsburgh.
Hand-forged pizza. Vita Vici. That's amore.
Make sure you're sending in your recommendations for the best pizza in Pittsburgh, because I'm going to go, I'm going to try it, I'm going to hold it to my standards.
It's the aftertaste is the barf. Is where the barf comes
Oh
in.
yeah.
I agree. It's bomb pizza.
Can your favorite pizza place pass the test? Find out.
If you had one jersey to pick from across all of sports, what do you think it would be?
Reebok era maroon Atlanta Thrashers alternative jerseys. I mean, can we talk about A+ potential? They look like soccer jerseys, but they're hockey jerseys.
I think we're gonna have to pass. So what's your favorite college football jersey out there?
Oh, it's Coastal Carolina, Chanticleers, right?
Dude, are you serious? That's my team.
The jersey
Hey, no,
sucks. Oh no, dude, that jersey's trash. I don't even like college football. It's so stupid.
What the hell is this? So as far as NFL jerseys or just football jerseys in general, I guess what's your peak jersey? What does it look like? Which one is your favorite?
Well, you gotta go with the Buffalo Bills home.
No, I'm gonna stop you there. I think we're gonna move on. We don't need any homers on the show, so I appreciate you calling in, man.
And I would say, Smalls, I have an incredible passion for Arena League football jerseys.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that was a great league. I mean, do you venture outside of that at all?
The best one, I'd say I have a lot of Penguins jerseys.
Did you say you said jerseys?
Yeah, you've never heard of a jersey?
No, I know what it is, but you would say that's your favorite?
Yeah, because they're short sleeves, so you can move around a lot better.
You mean that ironically, of course, right? You mean that ironically, right?
All right, who do we have next? Benny Buckets.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Oh.
All right, everybody, we are back in business for the top ranking of the evening. Again, we'll put out maybe something related to the great debate to see which one of our ones you like better. Apparently, in the comments, we're getting a lot of love for the Gettysburg 808.
Yeah.
So, what hopefully people will get a lot of love out is this ranking.
And coasters.
And coasters, which I appreciate it too, Derek. I'm not leaving your show out.
It's kind of like It's Always Sunny, but
No. Just because it's at a bar?
yeah.
You pitched us Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but in Gettysburg with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Go ahead, Austin.
But there's not.
Well, fuck
So
it. Goddamn
the ranking for the season, the top 10, are the top 10 Netflix original shows. These are all made by Netflix, and these all are great shows. So if you haven't seen any of them, get the fuck on board, people. What else are we doing in a pandemic? So
making babies.
Start out with number 10. Number 10 was probably one of the most original.
Yes, Ty.
Probably one of the most, I would say, like, one of the ones that started it off. Number 10 is Orange is the New Black, which I know a lot of people are going to be like, fucking 10, are you kidding me? But it was great. It had a good purpose. It had a good plot.
That's what people sound like.
Yeah, that is exactly what the chat is all saying, yeah.
All the townsfolk.
No, Orange is the New Black, I stopped watching after, I think, season 4. It was really good at the rip, and it's just one of those shows that I lost off, but I know it's a good show.
Yeah. There's really no, it's at the bottom, but like I said, all of these are good. So there's no bad part as to why one falls behind the other.
Yeah.
It was good. And but it did not beat out number 9, which actually Terry is starting to binge Derek, which is funny. Number 9, the guy that I just put in my movie, number 9, Ozark.
I started to watch it. I didn't really get into it instantly, so I haven't tried again, but I need to.
It's tough to get into. Like, I watched the first season when it first came out, and then when season 2 came out, I watched a couple episodes. Didn't watch for a couple years, and then my parents started watching it, so I was like, oh, I'll give it a try.
This is one of Ping's favorite shows, and he's pissed at it tonight.
Yeah.
So mine is kind of the same way as Bo's. I did finish it, but it took a while. Like, I started picking it up again when Terry started watching it, but I was the same way. I watched the whole through season 1. I thought it was great, and then season 2, I don't know why. I don't know if just because like other shows were coming on, or if I just didn't have the time. But I didn't get involved in the same way as season 2 as I did with season 1.
Yeah. Well, you were just so motivated to create the show that you're making because you were inspired by Ozark that you stopped watching it to make your show.
I was inspired by the dark acting of Jason Bateman, so yes.
He didn't
Jason
like season
Statham,
2, so he started to make his
Yeah,
own
he
show.
said, we're going to make a spin-off that nobody knows is a spin-off. You're fucking high ranking Ozark at 9, Denny says.
Oh, God.
Season 3 was great, though.
Wow, people just coming in. By the way, Psychophy, Ozark deserves to be higher. Jesse Reese said, yeah, Ozark is great, the last episode. I want my bits refunded, so Austin, you now owe us money. It's crazy.
Crazy stuff.
To go from the top to the bottom, but the Kings never get throne taken away unless they're executed, which won't happen. So number 8, we'll go on with probably one of the most, in my honest opinion, probably one of the more popular ones that is lower, which I know Ozark, but yeah, I get it. Number 8 is...
Why'd you say it like that?
I just do. Number 8 is Black Mirror.
Yeah, this, in my opinion, should be much higher because Black Mirror it's just one of the best shows that I've ever seen.
Each episode's different, right?
Every single episode, yeah. It's about a future where the extremes of the worst fears of things that we have in everyday life today impact. So, for example, one of the episodes is basically what your credit score is, but it's a social media rating, and you can't live in certain areas if your social media rating is too low. You can't get certain jobs. Your social media rating is literally your life. So if people give you a bad rating, you could lose your job, lose your house, lose your livelihood, which is a thing that really happens. It's just taken to the nth degree. Love Black Mirror, amazing show. It's like Twilight Zone, but better. If you want anxiety, watch this show. They have an actual social ranking thing that is in China. Yes, all those comments 100%. And Steph, yeah, they have an actual like social ranking like it. But Black Mirror takes things that are happening in our world and forces them through like a 50-year portal. And it's like, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah. And obviously with all those things makes it such a great show. So I just feel like the creativity goes a long way with the show, but I feel like, just in my opinion, some of these shows that came after it are just a little bit better. So number 7, one that people might think, what are you talking about, based on like how it's perceived by a certain person. I think this show was fucking great. Number 7, and that is House of Cards. I fucking love this show. Like, watching it through Frank Underwood and every like dirty trick and postulous moment that made him rise in power. Like, just the scheming and everything that went into government and politics and everything with this show. And the fact that, you know, he would monologue to you, like he would break the fourth wall and just talk to you the whole time and realize, yeah, I'm doing this. They don't understand what's going on. And that's the whole point. Like, it was so...
Yeah, a lot of people love it.
Yeah. And I know with the whole, you know, Kevin Spacey shit going on and how he wasn't available for the last season, and that kind of threw it off a little bit. And I completely understand that. Like, originally this show, I think, was rated like 90% and it went down to 77, like after the whole thing. Like, it's crazy how one thing can impact such a great show. But yeah, I definitely think I couldn't put this up any higher based on it, but the show is great. And surprisingly, it's still available on Netflix to watch. So go watch that shit if you want to see basically government flying up the hinge, or you could just turn on your local news. I don't fucking know. It all depends. What I know that one person, and if he's watching, will be very happy with is my number 6 pick. And that's Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, this should be higher.
Number 6. I was originally thinking, do I put it on the list? But then I was like, yes, you have to put it on the list. One Josh Elsas, who's very, very happy about this show, should be very excited that it's on here. Because I don't believe when I did some sort of Netflix ranking thing last time, I did not have it on here. And he threw a shit fit, and I thought I was going to be introduced the whole gangster of pushing booze and everything to his degree from Tom.
I mean, Peaky Blinders is it's one of my favorite shows, man. You're talking about bootlegging gangsters. They tie in some real, actual gangster type stuff. Someone writes in, Jesse says, great actors couldn't get into it as much if they're speaking about Peaky. But, man, Peaky Blinders, like, it was perfect to me. I thought I adored it.
This was just, like, a different version of, like, Boardwalk Empire, right? But better. Like, in my honest opinion. Like, this...
Yeah, British Boardwalk.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. One show that I thought was even greater, and I wrote an article about it comparing to the other show. Number 5 is You.
I hate this show.
We're number 5.
I know it's. Do you hate it based on like how creepy it is, or like do you hate it just? Because
I hate it for how obsessed people are with it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I don't hate the show. It's just like it's not my type of thing, and I know you adore it.
Yes, I love this fucking show.
It was a good show. I did watch this one.
It was so good that I did something I haven't done in a long time, and I picked up the book, and I've been reading the book lately, and it's
a book called You is a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah.
Steph writes in, fuck you, the show, not you, but also you.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less from our good friend Steph. So, yeah, I'm excited. I know that's a little, like, iffy, being that it only has 2 seasons and everything, and it being so high. But the amount of fan base that it has been created around the show, which a lot of people, that when I put up Twitter, everything, like, I'd love to be stalked by Joe every day. I'm like, really? Would you like if he wasn't handsome, you'd be going like, oh,
yeah,
this is
see, they say that, but they don't answer my DMs. So
do you have the same problem though? You're just like, oh damn, the DMs just aren't hitting, I guess.
Right.
Cold call DM emails just aren't what they used to be, boys.
You gotta send a pigeon now, carrier pigeon.
Has it returned yet?
But yeah, this was a good one. I at first I didn't want to watch it, and my sister watched it and sat down and watched it with her, and I was like, oh, this isn't too bad.
Good. I know it's a good show. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I'm excited for season 3, which I guess will be coming in the summer of 2021. I think
it's like a hand job, Austin. Some people like it, whatever.
Some people, it's not their thing, but
yep.
I know that one that was everybody's.
That was the Mutiny
That's Foreigner.
Okay, that's Foreigner. Okay, we were trying to figure it out, Grand Project.
I know that one show that was everybody's thing comes to us in number 4.
we're gonna fist fight.
I'm telling you, man. I had to put it up this high just because it has only like 1 season so far, and I know that.
That's
all.
I know. Number 4 is the Tiger King. And this was.
Man.
This had everything, man. This was.
I don't know.
This was basically like, what the fuck can we put into a show that'll create mass just hijinks?
When it came out during the pandemic, and it was perfect, and that it was peak. But like, so you put this over Black Mirror, Ozark, House of Cards. Like, don't get me wrong, Austin. This deserves to be top 10 for just the cultural impact.
But
like,
not 4.
But man, for like the greatest Netflix show. Now, I will say the information I found out after, which is like, for example, the alligators were Michael Jackson's alligators that died, and like stuff like that. And you see pictures of all of them. It is crazy and deserves to be on this list over some of the shows I worry about. But
I would say just based on how the show was preceded, right? It was literally, just the characters against me, like, Carol Baskins, you bitch. Like, it's like,
it's basically
it's an iconic line, man.
It's basically like a Florida story.
Yeah, and the fact that
it's real,
everything happening there,
and the fact that one of the people marries Joe Exotic because he's addicted to drugs and like doesn't like he actually likes women and everything. It's crazy, like. Yeah. And Carol Baskins killed her husband at some point. You'll find the body somewhere, but I'm not promoting that in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that's a prediction. Some might say
leave that for the Gettysburg 8-8, Austin.
Bring that in the court.
That could be. That would be.
Kevin Hart yell at her.
Yeah.
Sit down, you stupid bitch.
Exactly.
Oh,
you were your biggest fan, huh, Austin?
Sometimes
you are your biggest fan.
I have fun with a lot of these impressions, but you know,
Definitely,
I'm
a
not-
lot of people are
He
saying
does
it needs
a
to be
good
lower.
job. He does a good job.
He does a job. All right, number 3.
Number 3. I love this show so much. It's one of the best shows that I could think that resolves around this topic. Number 3 is Big Mouth.
I have tried to get into the show, and it's not for lack of anything. Like, it's a very good show. 3 is insanity.
Yeah, it's funny. I usually don't like animated shows like this, but this one is pretty good. But 3, I don't know.
The whole
I don't know
point
about it.
for this is that we get into like what, you know, a person like a child going through puberty really thinks of all this shit. Like it's like the imagination and everything that flows. I love all of the actors that are in this fucking show. Nick Kroll does amazing work.
Oh, he's wonderful. And the douche and Sausage Party like led us all to know that he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, like John Mulaney is like I love all these people, man.
Yep.
The hormone monster is killing me, and
Yeah.
it's just like, you gotta go over there. Like it's
Yep.
just- I love this show. I love the premise of it. I love how it's not afraid to take chances, obviously, with some of the things that go along, and people appreciate it for it. And what I do appreciate is our number 2, which I know might be controversial to some people.
What up, Bueno?
But number 2 is probably one of my. There was nothing wrong for this to make 1. It's just that 1 was better than the other one. Number 2 is BoJack Horseman.
Shouldn't
I
even,
know you're
shouldn't
saying
even
it.
be on the list.
How do you say that?
There's
This
an old
I've
saying.
never seen it.
There's an old saying that you're on an island when you take a stance or do something that you are by yourself. In Austin, you're not on an island. You're drowning in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, pretending to be on an island that has no sand and no trees, because BoJack Horseman is not the second greatest Netflix original show of all time.
I just don't. I think it is, man. It plays to a very, very, I guess, very specific audience, just of basically, you know, of major depression issues. And it's an animated comedy. It touches base on depression and drug and alcohol usage and how that really affects people, man, and just the overall insanity. You know, you have Eric Ball in his fucking show. Like, I personally believe, through all the thick and thin and the storytelling and everything that's going on, that this is the number 2 Netflix show.
He is delusional like his main actor in his show was.
I agree with that statement.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna hold it in.
I honestly haven't even seen this. Pop
No,
up on my
BoJack Horseman is good, and I remember watching it, Austin, when you sent it to me a couple years ago when it first came out. It's a good show, but like,
should be.
I mean, Black Mirror, Peaky, Cards, Ozark. We're talking about like some of those are considered the greatest TV shows of all time. So I've just you didn't want to be biased for the movie thing. I'm just sniffing a little horse tranquilizer of biasness.
I personally, I'm just thinking in like my perspective of how I receive this show, and maybe it's not a good idea of how I receive this show if people aren't agreeing with me, but maybe that says a lot with my character. But I will say that I did love this show so much. And
you ever meet a horse in real life?
Petting zoo once.
Yeah, you know they can't talk.
Well, yeah, that's
okay. I just didn't know. I just had to ask.
They also, you know, they don't become TV stars of shows. And
Mr. Ed.
Well, okay, again.
Talking horse.
I will say, if it was called Vojack, I would be a fan.
All right, shut up.
Where's all the Vos bros at? Bro.
Number 1 should be No Secret, but I'll put it out there. This show took chances. It took great actors and actresses and made them what they did. Original concept, I loved. It was great. And hopefully maybe someone will play as a character of it later in Dead by Daylight, Derek, because number 1 is Stranger Things.
Yeah, this had to be number 1.
There hasn't been a show on Netflix. Every single time a season dropped, my friends and I would literally drop everything and we would binge watch this till it was done.
He would
we
turn off
stayed up till
Friends
about
and
like
binge watch.
5 a.m. in the
We
morning.
turn off BoJack Horseman.
Sorry. We would stay up till, I think the one time in season 2 we stayed up till 5 a.m. binge watching this. Like, this show had everything, especially the latest season with all the like the 70s themes and everything. Like, it was great. Nothing about this show was bad. Like, it is perfect.
Yeah, it's just one of the best shows that they've come out with in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't hate on this. I don't know how I feel about number 1, but certainly don't hate it. Yeah, Stranger Things to me is the best show that they've ever come out with. Just plain and simple. Austin, do you mind if I read you a couple shows to see why they are not on your list? I do have
sure.
a website up about it, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if you took any notes on like any shows that I missed, but go ahead.
Well, one is I've never seen it, but The Crown is supposed to be amazing. That's a Netflix original show.
That was one that I considered, yeah.
And I've never seen it. I think that Glow, Girl Ladies of Wrestling. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I know. I watched a couple episodes, man, and it's not that I just didn't get into it. I just had other
Which
shit
is fair.
going on, or I just wasn't in the mood.
Here's one that I know you love, and if you don't love it, you need to love it. The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, so another big one. It's great. I love that the singer of My Chemical Romance basically wrote this fucking thing.
Right.
And I loved it. I haven't got back into. I haven't watched because there's 2 seasons, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't watched the whole 2nd season yet, and maybe that's why. So.
Yeah. Denny says Trailer Park Boys,
that
which I
Netflix?
am not. I think it. I thought it was Canadian. It's just on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Netflix original.
Two that I obviously adore are Daredevil and Punisher. I think Daredevil is one of the better shows that they had come up with in a long time.
Yeah.
And then the last one, let me scroll. The last one that I want to ask you about here, I believe so. Yeah, is Narcos.
Oh.
Yeah, another big one because I know Narcos was huge. I've actually never seen it, and I know that I'm gonna get hate for that, but
Chip loves it.
Chip's a big supporter.
Yeah,
of it?
he's a huge fan of it, and I forget the Narcos, the 2nd season or whatever it's called, Narcos Mexico or Narcos Brazil, I forget what it is, but he's a huge fan of Narcos.
Okay, so it's something that I'll have to pick up and watch. I'll have to add it to the list of majority of things that I got going on.
But you can't go wrong with Stranger Things. That's my favorite Netflix original.
Austin, what about Haunting of Hill House?
Yes.
I knew that was coming. I know.
As a horror guy,
this is pretty good.
It should be on there.
I know, man. I just
started Bly Manor. Holds up.
Oh yeah, I would say I finished Blind Manor. You lost me a little bit, maybe in the middle of it, but it's not bad.
I just watched, and spoilers. I just watched the Loop episode, Austin. So I just finished the Loop episode, but Haunting of Hill House was one of the greatest horror shows I've ever seen in my entire life, or suspense, or whatever you want to categorize it as. But
it's definitely the show that made me jump for the first time in a long time.
The greatest jump scare I've ever seen.
Yep, because obviously no one saw it coming.
Yep.
So, but yes, the Loop episode made me.
That's it?
I got one more.
Oh, 100%.
The Loop episode made me appreciate Bly Manor so much more, Derek. So.
Yep. And Vo has one more.
Making a Murderer. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, they interview the different people that have committed crimes, right? I
have another one too. That's a good point.
That's
No, Making a Murderer is the documentary about the murderer.
I can't remember.
I can't remember his name. You're thinking about Mindhunter, which is another one that I wanted to ask about.
Mindhunter.
Okay.
Mindhunter's terrific.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many shows, man.
That's the other thing. Yeah, there's a million goddamn great shows. Altered Carbon is great.
But he chose BoJack Horseman.
But he did choose BoJack Horseman. Yeah, Denny says that Trailer Park Boys started as a showcase that Netflix bought the rights and started producing the later seasons. So technically, it is a Netflix original.
Okay.
13 Reasons Why. Didn't you like that, Austin?
Yeah, that's more of a Keaton show, man.
Is it? Okay, cool.
I haven't watched it yet, but excuse me, I've heard great things. I need to get into it. I know there's like how many shows that.
Wow, this website has you as the 40th best show.
That's a lot.
It has Ozark as 3. It does have BoJack as 1, but that's
Netflix shows or just
Netflix original.
Oh, okay.
Huh. I didn't know they had Ozark so high.
House of Cards is 45. Now that's a farce. Oh, here's my favorite. Honestly, I think this may be my favorite one. Series of Unfortunate Events with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, that's right.
I absolutely. If no one's ever read the books or do anything, it is by far my favorite story growing up, outside of like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, like the major ones. And Neil Patrick Harris is perfect. He is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I know Ian was a big fan of the series, Unfortunate Events series, and the books and everything. It's a thing that I never actually got into it. Like I've seen the movies, but I never was like really a big fan, and that's maybe
Dude,
because I
watch the show.
watched the show.
Man, it's. I have a couple things that I rewatch religiously when I'm going to bed. Like I have shows and stuff like that and Jesse writes in, me and my kids both enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good for me, it's good for kids, it's good for my parents. Like, but that's one of the shows that I fall asleep to, which is crazy because it's like a dark show. But it does the best job, and I loved Jim Carrey's rendition of the character. But they go through every single book and they match all the key parts, and it's just terrific.
Okay, so I'll have to again add it to the list of stuff I got to do. So,
but other than that, I thought you did well.
Yeah, good list. We'll have to do Hulu next.
Oh God.
Disney Plus coming at you next week on the RankKing's Court.
Dear God. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in at 6:30, the RankKing's Court. We will be back, obviously, on Tuesday next week to bring another topic to discuss. You can check out Thoughts from the Movies on Wednesdays, I believe at 8 o'clock. You can check out 2 Beers Deep starting at 6.
Yep.
You can check out all of fantasy, or I guess not
it's
fantasy.
More betting now, yeah.
Yeah, more betting and playoff predictions on Boondock Bangarang on 10
o'clock, yeah. 10 to noon normally.
And you can check out us on the 88 Hour playing Among Us and slicing necks and shooting people when they're down on Monday at 8. So
love it.
Check out the Vault on YouTube.
I was gonna say thank you.
Every time, no, I'm gonna call you out. Every time that we say Austin didn't do this or didn't do the ad read or something, he goes, "I was getting there." And Austin, I don't know if you were getting to the Vault.
I was getting to the Vault. can't leave my boys Smalls and Benny down for that. Check out the Vault, which drops
every Friday at noon. Every Friday at noon.
Every Friday at noon. Yes. With all the plugs that are plugged in, the only thing we can do now is plug out. So this has been the RankKing's Court. Check us next week, 6:30, Tuesday. Court is adjourned, boys.
Gettysburg 80.
Court is adjourned.